Nothing changes until you do. What is up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. If you don't know me, my name is Ishaan, and welcome to the video where, like always, we're going to reflect on some of my recent thoughts. And in this video, specifically, the thoughts are about how things don't actually change in your life until you yourself change yourself. Change your mindset, your habits, your actions, and the way you do things to see that reflected in your external reality. Let's start by talking about priorities because I was recently reminded of when you want to prioritize something, you schedule your stuff around it. You don't fit it in your schedule when you have time. No, you schedule that thing first. You schedule that priority first, and then you schedule your day around it. That's what it means to actually work on something that you're prioritizing. Now, if you don't have any priorities, then you're just gonna go about your day on autopilot, and honestly, like your productivity, it's not gonna be as high as it can be if you have reflection upon or you've reflected upon what your priorities really are. And it's not a cookie cutter question. Like, this is something that differs for everyone in their life. Like, for some people, and it differs in different phases of your journey as well. Like, you're not gonna be prioritizing the same things that you did in high school after you left high school. You're not going to be prioritizing the same things you prioritize in college after you've graduated. And that's how life goes. You progress, you figure out, okay, what are my new priorities? What are things that I want to continue working on? But at the end of the day, you have to figure out your priorities. Elba, you have to figure out your priorities, and then you have to actually prioritize it by scheduling that thing first and then doing other things around it. For instance, if one of my past priorities has been working out, getting in shape, which was a much bigger thing in early years of my college, so that would be the thing that I prioritize. I'd wake up early, I'd go to the gym so that I'm already getting it done, regardless of anything else that might happen that day. I'm not going to be able to skip my workout. Right now, one of my major priorities is my PhD program and my school things, which means that I have to first make time for those, and then I move on to the other things that are also important to me. But there is that trade-off of deciding, okay, which one is more important, which one do I need to focus on now? And sometimes, dude, these priorities can shift from week to week or month to month, and that's life. That's part of life, and I I just had to remind myself of that. The other thing I've been thinking, I had like four talking points for this video, so I want to make sure I hit each one of them. The second thing I was thinking about was the fear of failure and having doubts, because y'all, I've been working on a project that I hope to unveil to you soon, and I've been at some points putting it off because I'm like, damn, like I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Like, what if it doesn't even work out or go as I've planned it, or something comes up, something happens. What if I don't do this or that? And what if it's not perceived well? What if no one actually engages with it? And all these doubts, all these fears that come and creep into my mind about that thing, and I'm just like, dude, you've done so much before. You've done so much before, and you're gonna do it all again. You have to let go of this attachment to the fears and the doubts, and simply give your best to the work. And whatever happens, happens, because in the process you're learning something about yourself, and that is the true purpose. It's self-realization, self-discovery, and self-mastery. I was And then this goes into the activity or something, a mindset that I've employed over the last few years, which is called the cookie jar. And Oh man, I love this motherfucker. This mindset is the overarching idea of the cookie jar is that you remind yourself of all the hard things that you've done in the past and overcome to get to where you are, so that you can continue to work hard to get to that next level as you're experiencing some sort of challenge right now. So in those times of doubts, fears of failure, like you have to tap into your cookie jar, pull out one of your past wins and soak in it, like bathe in it, and remind yourself of how good it felt to overcome that and to get to that next level. And then consider that that's a similar situation now. Like you've done hard things before, you can do hard things now, and it's gonna be feeling so damn good after you're fucking done with it. And what it's gonna bring in terms of your personal growth and beyond that as well, if it gives you some sort of material results as well. Though that's secondary. And the cookie jar activity, actually, it's not something that I came up with, but this book that you see here, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. First, I put these two books up because these are the ones that I'm currently reading, and I'm thinking like when I make my videos and stuff from now on, I'll try to put like the books that I'm reading currently up here. And earlier today, actually, I read one of the chapters that talked about the cookie jar activity, or he talks about when he tapped into it one of the times in his life, and it just reminded me that I also can, like, I also need to continue to employ that mindset. Like, these things are universal and, bro, like, everlasting. Like, these mindset changes, they're so powerful that if you genuinely absorb and embody these, you're set for a lifetime. Like, it's not something that's at the core of it, the value of it, it's not gonna change. Like, it's completely invaluable. And I feel so blessed and grateful that I had the privilege and the opportunity to learn and absorb and practice these types of mindsets at such an early age that I know it's like I can't imagine what my life is going to be like in 10 years as I continue to learn more and grow more. But I've set up such a strong foundational base at an early age, and it just makes me feel very grateful and proud of my past self for putting in the effort when he had the bare minimum. And this was me literally just practicing the cookie jar activity to you right now. When I feel like an exam is coming up that's tough, or if I have to do a lot of readings for a course, which happened last week actually, so it's on my mind. I just remind myself of all the hard things that I've done in school before, and that compared to some of the past things that I've done, what I have to do now is like the bare minimum. It's like barely anything. And it gives me so much comfort and confidence, and I'm like, fuck yeah, baby, let's fucking get this shit. So definitely consider looking up David Goggins' story and the cookie jar activity. And whenever you feel like you have those fears, doubts creeping in about the work that you're currently doing for yourself and for your improvement and your growth, tap into your past wins, bro. Like, soak in them, bathe in them. Let those feelings, like, throughout, like, rush and fill throughout your body, because you fucking did that, bro. And you can do it again. You can do anything you set your mind to. That's really just a reminder for myself. And lastly, don't forget where the fuck you came from, which goes back to the cookie jar activity. Don't forget where the fuck you came from, bro. You work so damn hard to get to the point where you're at now. And in order to get to the next level that you're striving for and working towards, you're gonna have to continue to work hard. But you know you can do hard things, bro. You've done it before, you will do it again. And that's really the game. That's the ooh. To think that you can do something so many times and still face challenges when you try to keep leveling up, I think that is the most annoying yet the most rewarding aspect of life's journey. If For me personally, like if there was no growth involved, no progress involved in some area of my life, I would be depressed. Like I would actually, and I'm saying that because I've experienced that life before. Like I've lived that life. I've lived the life where I have all the comfort and things that I want, but I don't feel good internally. And one of the prime examples of this that I love to now use is when I was working in the healthcare tech industry after graduating from college in 2022. From 2022 to 2024, a year and a half, almost 2 years, I worked in a very stressful job environment that demanded a lot out of me, but also taught me so much and it paid me so well, bro. Like financially, I was doing completely good, like on my own, and the thing from that experience is I had everything that I ever wanted, and still it felt that something in me was empty. And of course, it took a while to reflect, realize, and come to the conclusion. And now, reflecting back even more, I still derive learnings from those experiences because I'm like, yeah, it was a challenging time. But I had everything I ever wanted to be happy and content, and yet I felt some internal emptiness and a void. And it only really started filling up when I started treating myself with more self respect and started to follow through on the things that I committed to.